Hello and welcome to Third Act Film. Today we're discussing films we feel that could be expanded on and have a expanded universe similar to those that they've done with Marvel and DC. Here with me is Todd James.
Hello.
And I'm James Forbes.
Hello, James.
Todd, kick us off.
Okay, I'm going to start off strong with a film that just came out a week ago that I loved and not really many other people liked.
Maybe not a week from this video.
Well, no. Oh, yeah, okay. At the time we record. A recent film, a 2015 release.
Yeah.
The Last Witch Hunter. Vin Diesel's The Last Witch Hunter.
Really?
Right.
I haven't seen it. And
No.
I probably never
A
will.
lot of people haven't.
It looks
really
ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. It's silly. It's like slap about action, but it's a lot of fun. And the bad guy looks a lot like me. But that's not why. It had really good mythology built around it. There was some really cool
ideas.
And just like the use of, this isn't really spoilers. The use of magic, the things that people did with magic, were really inspired, and visually it was like really creative. And there's just a lot more to explore there. I doubt it'll get a sequel because it kind of flopped.
Yeah.
But there is, I won't say it, but there's sort of a bit of setup near the end.
Yeah.
Saying, oh, sequel, franchise.
Yeah.
And it's also, because of the world, there could be films in that world not about Vin Diesel and stuff, because it's about a greater war going on. So, yeah, and I watched it and I was like, it's a shame no one will want to see this or like this, because it could really be explored a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the same vein of wars and
right,
and, like magic and that.
Okay. Right.
Underworld.
Yeah, good choice. Yeah.
You just saying it there. It wasn't actually on my list.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but when you said the war and that, and I was like,
yeah.
Oh, another film with a war. I know they've done quite a lot.
And there's another one coming out next year. I don't know, 5 or 6.
But if they,
I haven't seen half of them.
Yeah. To be honest, reboot it, start again, take
do
that idea.
A continuity reboot. So it's all technically still in the story.
Yeah.
I reckon that would be the best way
That'd
to go.
That'd be pretty cool. Doing it, maybe if they even do it as a prequel universe to all of the events that then happen, or much further forward, because I did like the whole, it's in the modern day and there's guns and stuff, and that's all pretty cool. But it's just a war between werewolves and vampires. What more do you want?
Yeah,
that is
it's
awesome.
like Twilight, but good.
Yeah.
Well, they're not that good.
But,
yeah, and that's as well with, it's like immortal characters or characters that live for ages, so you can have it set whenever you like, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
And have the same characters, just
reappear.
Costume change, and suddenly they're in the 1500s.
Oh, I'm wearing a leather jacket.
Yeah, it's the 90s, I mean present day.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. You can, you could do a series following, the werewolves and their kind of history and their kind of leaders. You can do another series following the vampires and their kind of stories, and then you can have the clash between the two and such films. I think it could work. You'd have to get a better team behind it. You'd have to recast. I mean, there are some good actors in it, guy who looks like Tony Blair. I forgot his name. Martin Sheen. Yeah,
right.
Martin Sheen. He's a really good actor.
Kate Beckinsale's good.
She's alright, yeah.
Right. Great. Yeah.
But yeah.
I know it just needs an overhaul, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a really similar one to that. Speaking of Kate Beckinsale, Van Helsing.
Oh.
You don't know what film I'm talking about,
I do, yeah. He had Hugh Jackman in the most recent one.
So I watched it again about a week ago, and I remember loving it when it came out, but it came out when I was early teens.
Yeah.
And so I watched it again thinking maybe I just thought it was cool at the time. But it's not. I loved it. I know a lot of people don't, but I loved it, and it's, again, like we said with the suggestions so far, it's probably going to be a common theme.
Yeah, these three films are very similar.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there is such a richer universe with not just the characters that we saw.
Yeah.
But also something There's a TV show called Penny Dreadful, which I love and
Yeah.
talk about sometimes, but I feel like it doesn't have a huge following. But something they've introduced, they're set in a similar sort of time period, and something you never think about is that in Victorian London, and when, you know, Europe was at that stage, you never think about it, but is sort of the same time as like the Wild West in America.
All right.
And like why not explore that? Like there's a whole world, like what was happening in Asia at that time. You never think about
Nobody
that.
knows. Nobody knows.
Quite simply, no one knows.
Yeah.
And just like expand that world. Like something that's really good in Penny Dreadful is that they have a guy who he was basically a cowboy, and he's mixing with these, like, you know,
common folk.
Well, no, they're not common folk, but you know, people in Victorian London. You're like that. Those two things in my head don't go together.
It's a weird dichotomy.
Yeah, good use of the word dichotomy.
But yeah.
And you know, just build a world out of it. So, did you ever see Seventh Son?
I missed that, unfortunately.
Right, unfortunately. Well, spoilers for Seventh Son, I guess. There's like the henchmen in that. There's one from each. What's the word I'm looking for? Like
Continent?
Civilization.
Oh, okay.
One from like each ancient civilization, and that's really cool. It's like a really cool idea.
Yeah, but not a good film. Yeah.
Right. But
that?
just like explore that element. That's something that it hasn't really been done.
And
make it like
Van
Helsing, like that sort of Pirates of the Caribbean-y, just fun, like good fun, knockabout, Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to take this to modern day with my next suggestion.
Okay, I see you didn't like that one.
And I'm just thinking to myself with Van Helsing, who's another interesting character in that world? You have Dracula, or a lead vampire or whatever, but then that's always what the story is Van Helsing, Dracula, Van Helsing, Dracula. Can you introduce another element? Could you, who are you spinning off the film? Who's going to be your Iron Man, but then equally who's going to be your, I'm trying to think, like, who's going to be your Ant-Man?
Right. Yeah, I get that, but they just introduce them, and then they're like, "Oh, this guy, yeah, great."
Just make a new one, yeah. Okay, cool. In my next suggestion, modern day Looper. Although it's in the future, it's not modern, but
right.
Looper, tons of history. We've discussed Looper. Link here for sequels we wanted.
Yeah,
I'm taking it a step further. Universes we want. This world was incredible. It's got PK, which I found out what that means now. Psychokinesis, meaning that you can control stuff with your mind.
Yeah.
Whilst telekinesis, I believe you have to see it to be able to. Anyway.
Right.
Anyway, having the Rainmaker, what an awesome name. That is awesome. Seeing his development and seeing what, you could do it, that kind of Breaking Bad kind of thing, that he is a good guy and he is helping people and
maybe the timeline we saw is the one where he actually goes evil.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Right.
But from good intentions.
Yeah.
And then as well, you can then have the Bruce Willis character be part of it, and you can introduce other loopers, other people who have seen this time travel arc happening, and then having that being a separate film of another looper and his journey, and then having the Rainmaker and his journey, and maybe explaining what happened to Bruce Willis in between him and Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Right, there's something happening, and just ask the third actor who's like 40s and put them in the middle.
Oh, imagine all three of them return and like, what is going on? I hate this. But I think you could spin off to other films that lead to bigger films. And imagine if you have a Rainmaker film presenting it as a hero, and then he goes up against the actual hero who looks kind of like a villain when it's Bruce Willis being all rugged and that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like Looper. We've discussed it multiple times, I'm sure, but I never thought of it as that. But there is quite a rich world, actually, when you think about it. There is, that really get into the Looper. I feel like really explores time travel, like a lot of other recent time travel films don't really go into quite as much.
Yeah. But it gets difficult because with Looper it doesn't actually make sense. They're like, I've chopped your hand off in the past and now it's gone. But everything else stayed the same.
Everything leading up to this
You remember all those times you ate with one hand now? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that I didn't
your whole
think of it
life.
at the time, but that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Remember all those rounds of applause you gave? Like, nope, didn't happen. Remember all those people you greeted, like with a handshake? Didn't happen.
Yeah, it would all of that. But I know the writer and the director both said, like, it doesn't, like, you don't think like that. It's just
Yeah.
it's a change in matter, and the memories go with it. But yeah. You're going. Let's see your next one.
Okay. Jumanji.
That's coming out next year.
Yeah. This
2016.
inspired me. The remake is coming out next year. Did you know there was a sequel to Jumanji, or like a sort of sequel called Zathura?
No, I didn't.
Where there's another board game.
Yeah.
And they go into space, and it's like the subtitle is A Space Adventure. And I don't know if it's an official sequel, but there's a board game.
Yeah.
And it sends them on a crazy adventure. And you could just do endless, like, cool board games with different themes. And then when...
Like, who's making these damn board games?
And then, when it gets to the end, like, how did these board games possibly come into existence?
The board game maker.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't know.
Some old man.
Yeah, like, stroking his long beard.
Perhaps we're trapped in a game now.
Oh my God.
The game of life, yeah.
Yeah, and I just think that...
And then you could have a different film for each one of them.
Yeah, like
have
a different board
hero
game.
in each board game. Who's all of these different children have been trapped
Yeah.
and grown up,
maybe not that
damaged, like feral kids, and then come back out,
but
team up together.
Yeah, but it's such a good idea. I think that could just, you know,
could really do. You could just do so many different types of games.
Like,
you can do
think of a
landscapes.
thing. That's an idea for a board game.
Like an Arctic one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A sea one. Like, a lava board game.
Yeah.
Like, I know that this is really oversimplifying it, and the jungle one is like, or the crazy jungle Jumanji world is like the best one there'll ever be.
Yeah.
But and to with every film, like, exploring more the origins of how did these board games come about as well. I just think it would either ruin it and you'd be like, too much, I didn't want to know, I like the mystery, or you'd be like, what?
There's more board games.
Yeah. There's just a whole shop that just sells exclusively life-ruining board games.
Yeah. And they've managed to track it down and then take them on. But then I'm a bit like, oh, you found the shop and the shop owner, and you're like, stop making these games. He's like, okay. End of film.
And then he moves into, like, mobile app games.
Oh, what?
What?
I mean, like, what's that film? Unfriended.
Right.
Is that the name of the film?
I know the one.
I feel like I've made
where it's
that up.
all on the computer screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it is Unfriended. Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
What a
I saw
name.
it. It was all right. That's my review, people. It was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My next suggestion, I've actually got two more because I made up one halfway through this. So,
Right.
I Am Legend.
Right.
Uh-oh.
You've spoken about this before, how much you like it, but right.
Explain.
Explain.
See if I can say this. I've spoken this before in video here.
Link here. Right.
Discussing, I Am Legend and what it could be, and that got me thinking. Like, we never actually got to see what happened afterwards. The whole ending is that spoilers for I Am Legend, but someone else appears and they find other people, and that there is a civilization going on. Well, what about the other people who believe they're the only person left?
Mm-hmm.
Then it's not just Will Smith. Imagine one with Idris Elba, and then another one with Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Right, I'm seeing a theme here. I'm seeing a theme.
And then another one with Chris Rock. That'd be funny.
Yeah. Right.
And then you just have all of these.
Denzel Washington. There's another one.
That's a really good suggestion.
That is actually a really good one.
I think, he would absolutely kill it. But you're having all of these people who think they're alone. And then as well, you could throw in another conspiracy that these people rescuing them aren't actually rescuing them. Perhaps the kind of new place that they go to is even worse. And perhaps this new utopia that they go to. But you could do whatever you want. But just the idea of having these people stranded by themselves, get Matt Damon as well. Just always stranded.
He's always alone.
Yeah.
So you picture every film being basically the same sort of setup. Somebody in a city alone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You think that'll be too boring?
I can see a sequel, like where does the story go next, but also exploring a bit how did it get that way. But
Yeah.
I don't see it as, and like meanwhile in England, I don't know. Yeah, all right. I got. Oh no, I don't have one more.
You don't have any more?
No.
Oh, I've got one more.
Go for it.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Okay. Yeah. Great.
Great. I've sold already.
Yeah.
You can just do a film for each character in that.
Yeah. Just
then,
Avengers it.
Yeah. Avengers it.
This is the Captain Nemo film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then have them all do their own little. Invisible Man would be a bit weird. Just like, where are you?
The whole film goes by and he's like, I'm here all along. Yeah.
Yeah, but then, Avengers in it, as you've said, and putting them all together at the end to take on a bigger threat, and that they all have their own little films, their own little mysteries. You can do each one differently. You can have one that's got, I could imagine Invisible Man being a detective for some reason, and that is a kind of noir kind of
just about
theme.
to say that.
Yeah, I love a bit of noir. And then you can have... I can't think of any other characters.
Jekyll and Hyde is one.
Jekyll and Hyde, and he's like, I don't like it. Ah.
Yeah. But you see, this exactly links into what I was saying about Van Helsing. It's like a really similar sort of thing.
Oh.
Do you not think?
No.
It's like the same time period, similar kind of characters.
Similar time period and that,
It's just exploring the world.
Yeah.
To me, they're like the same suggestion. More or less.
Listen,
Only League of Extraordinary
why
Gentlemen.
don't we add in...
Oh my god, Van Helsing is part of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Yeah.
And then as well, Underworld is happening the whole time.
Yeah, great, perfect.
And
that's how I Am Legend got started.
And that's how it started, I Am Legend. And then a looper gets thrown back too far in time.
Yeah. And invents a board game.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I think that was pretty solid suggestions. I know really didn't like I Am Legend as much, but... whatever.
Yeah, that was the only one. All the others. But I mean, it's basically what's a really good film that didn't get its potential.
Yeah.
And for your last one, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, I quite like that film. I appreciate it. It's very flawed.
It ended Sean Connery's career.
So he hates people in general. He hates them. But I still had fun with it. It could just be because I was the right age when it came out. But and I remember really liking Captain Nemo in it and being like, what a cool guy.
Yeah, let's get more of that.
Yeah, cool technology. Nice car, bro.
Yeah, fist bump. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Do you guys have any suggestions? If you want to let us know in the comments below. And if you have any further suggestions for topics that we could discuss, email address here. I'm just waiting for them to click it.
Okay.
Although you don't click it, you type it. You make an email and then type that email.
Good point.
hello@thirdactfilm.com. Anyway, so if you got any suggestions for further topics, let us know. I've been James Forbes.
And I've been Todd James.
Bye.
Bye. Machines plugged in to believe that they are the machines who have the humans plugged in. They don't even know that he's dead. And Tony Stark's like, oh, better blow up all the Iron Man suits.
You don't want to be rained by fire. And it's...
You're right.
Yeah.
I don't.